Hey guys, this is Carla, and this time I'm here to review episode 4 of season 1 of Shadowhunters. This episode is titled Raising Hell, and quite honestly, I have to say I was kind of disappointed by it, honestly. It had some good things, but for the most part, it let me down. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did the previous one, which I really enjoyed. Maybe I need to watch it again to actually get a better hang of it this time, but this one just felt off. It just felt like everybody was off in this episode for some reason. Um, I think, a large part of it was due to the fact that all the special effects looked like crap this time around. I mean, clearly, when they split the budget for this season, this episode did not get the highest count. If you're trying to raise a demon, summon a demon, you really want to make it look cool, don't you? It didn't. It really didn't. And just the rest of it didn't really do much either. But also just the acting wasn't up to par. And I know I'm probably expecting too much of a show like this as far as acting goes. But most of them have been doing a pretty good job so far. I mean, I had my issues with Kat and with Dom, but for the most part, I love the rest of the cast. But in this episode, even Izzy let me down. I just didn't think she was all there today. Like up there. To be fair, I don't think it's Emerald's fault. I think she was given the worst possible ever dialogue. I mean, how cringeworthy was that? Come on, the whole scene about when she was helping Clary get clothes, and she's like, "Oh, I wish my breasts were as small as yours." I'm like, really, this is the dialogue they're giving her. This is not good. And that line about her, when they're actually walking into the club, and everybody kind of just rolled their eyes, and I would be like, "You, come on." That's just, I know she has to be like really like teasing and okay with her sexuality and open about it. So there's a line between open and crass, and I think they kind of crossed it with her in this one. I hope we go back to seeing a more classy side of Isabel in the future, just give her better dialogue. This was not good, and I've been hailing Emerald as one of the best for me in the past 3 episodes, and this one, it just felt like she was off. I can give her a pass. I can give her, one episode where she was just not really there, but I honestly don't think it's her. I just think it's the dialogue. Speaking of dialogue, Kat is still not my favorite. I'll just put it that way. She has, again, it's very inconsistent. She has moments where she does really great, but then she has other moments when it's just like she overdoes it a bit. And the dialogue doesn't help. I mean, how many times have we heard her say that she will do anything to save her mother? We know you will. We know. We get it. We know that you're worried about your mother. They don't have to have her say that 7 times every episode. It makes sense, but it gets repetitive, and it starts smelling of lazy writing, and I don't like that. Dom was not that bad. He was actually okay. I really liked his scene at the beginning with Clary when he when she walks in and he's shirtless. I mean, that part made me roll my eyes a little bit, of course, because you were so excited about coming to tell him something, and then all of a sudden he just takes off his shirt and you lose your train of thought. Great, how cliche, but I liked his reaction to it when she turns around and he just kind of shakes his head and smiles. I thought that was great. I think he's getting better, so I applaud Dom for that. I actually think he's embodying Jace a bit better. Although again, they're still kind of making him really nice. I think they're maybe a bit afraid of the bad boy idea. Like they want to make it known from the beginning that Jace is not really a bad boy. He's kind of a broken guy in a way. I look forward to later on when it's revealed more about him and his past and his relationship with his father and everything. I'm looking forward to that. I think he can do a good job with that. Just waiting for that. Magnus, I haven't been the biggest fan of Magnus so far, but then he hasn't had much to do yet. But in this episode, there was a lot of Magnus, and it wasn't terrible. I mean, initially, it did feel again like he was being too over the top, like borderline unrealistic to me. But then when he started getting serious about things, when things started getting serious with the Shadowhunters, I think Harry kind of stepped up, and towed the line between flamboyant and powerful a little bit better. So I was actually pleasantly surprised with him, because when he appeared for the first time in this episode, he was talking to some other dude with horns, which, okay. He was talking to the guy with horns, and I was like, yeah, I didn't like that scene, but then when he finally met the Shadowhunters and things started to actually get intense, it got better. So maybe there's hope for Harry yet as Magnus. I do think Alberto keeps his position as being the best so far. I think he's really great. I think he makes Simon's feelings come across as very real. And his confusion about the whole vampire thing to like the weird feelings that he's having, he did that really well. I really liked his scene with Maureen. I thought that was one of the best scenes of the episode. It felt very organic. It felt very, like I said, real. Like something that might actually happen between teens. I like that we got to see his mother, because I know she's an important deal later on. And it was good to see her so early. I thought she was okay. I mean, I pictured her differently. I pictured her older and less, business casual. I don't know, but it was nice to see her. I hope we get to see Rebecca too, because I liked Rebecca. I always thought she was cool. And last but not least, though, I think my favorite of the episode by far was actually Alec, because see, in the movies we didn't really get to experience much. I mean, we did see up to this point in the movies, but we didn't really, I don't know, we didn't really get to see Alec kind of confront his own feelings in a way, and I like that, because movie Alex was very headstrong, very, very much about doing the right thing, about keeping Clary, sidelined because she wasn't one of them and whatever. And Matthew also kind of has that, but at the same time, it's he has kind of a sensibility and low vulnerability to him that that movie Alec didn't have, or at least we didn't get to see that from him. And I like that, because Alec has always been my favorite character in the books, and it's mostly because of that vulnerability. It's like, even underneath all the bravado and, we have to do our jobs and stuff like that, and wanting to protect his family and whatever, he's also very vulnerable. And I think we get to see a little bit of that shy, maybe confused and uncertain Alec, and I love that. I really think they're doing a great job with the character. So one of the things I actually really did enjoy about this episode, which was one of the few things that I liked, I mean, I could go on about the things that I didn't like. I mean, there was the whole Luke thing with the jerky. What the heck was that about? Valentine, come on, are you even going to dampen my excitement for Valentine? That scene with Clave spice, that where the heck did that come from? I mean, come on, are you going to tell me the Clave actually knows where Valentine is? For serious? Aren't they supposed to be looking for him? They know he's in Chernobyl? It's why not? he should be in Chernobyl. No, he shouldn't. How the heck did you find him? That made no sense. So the whole thing with Valentine was weird as well. And don't even get me started on that lousy looking demon. As soon as Magnus said the words, I fed them to the memory demon, I was like, what? That's just, it just made me laugh. It was just so weird. Really? You fed the memories to a memory demon? I am guessing, since they made such a big deal of the demon, that this was supposed to be, the replacement for the one big demon they fight in City of Bones, which was a name I don't remember, Abba something, I don't remember, but I'm guessing that was the replacement, and if it was a very poor replacement, because it was there for like 3 seconds tops, and Clary killed it with one, swipe of her sword, and it made no sense to begin with, because you can't beat memories to a memory demon, what the heck? So, yeah, I never liked this idea of Magnus stealing her memories so much as blocking them. That's what I wanted to see. So this whole thing with the memory demon just made me roll my eyes. I didn't like that. But there was one thing that I really did enjoy. Apart from the Simon scenes, which were pretty great, I'm still confused about the Simon thing, by the way. He's going back to the Mord, as he should, but he's going back to Camille. I also like that they gave Izzy the necklace, because she had that in the book, so I like that. But I think the best thing about this episode, and probably why I'm sure, or so my Twitter tells me, so many of the fangirls actually love this episode, and it's because of the interaction between Magnus and Alec, which was fantastic. I loved it. That was the great part of the episode for me, because, I mean, again, it helps you begin to see that little, kind of shy and awkward side of Alec, which I love, because he's my baby and I love it. And also Magnus, he kind of does a double take the first time he's Alec, and I love that. They were so great, although, there were moments where, again, the dialogue was so cheesy and so stupid that it just made me kind of want to hit my head against the desk, like the whole thing, like, flowers or cologne, really? That's really? But for the most part, their interaction was pretty great, and I loved when he was like, hey, you pretty boy, put together a team, and Jace just starts walking, and he's like, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to him, and Alec just sort of, like, stares for 2 seconds, and then kind of, like, starts smiling, and then just shrugs, and it's just so cute. I really like their interaction. I hope we get to see more of that sometime soon. I did, however, like the fact that they kind of had the reveal with Alec that he really does love Jace. At the same time, I'm kind of a little sad that they didn't touch upon that straight away. They went to a Jason Clary scene, which I guess is what they're trying to push, but eventually we're going to have to see Jace and Alec kind of talk about that, right? That's what I would have hoped, but I really liked that we got to see, Alec kind of being forced to confront his feelings and not being able to take it because he's just not ready for it to be public. And I think it's very interesting, and again, that vulnerable side to Alec that I really love. So for me, I mean, the episode was worth it for the Magnus Alex stuff alone. Also, the Simon stuff was pretty good, but the rest of it was just like blah for me. So I'm actually a little bit disappointed. But I'm not giving up on the show or anything. I think they've done better and they can do better. I just think this was one of the episodes that they just kind of added in to just fill the space between the huge plot points. But I don't know. I mean, it kind of... I do feel disappointed about this one. I'm glad if there are fangirls out there, because that's what my Twitter says, at least, that some of the fangirls really did love it. And I get it. I totally get it, because the Magnus and Alec thing was pretty damn cool. But the rest of it just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I just hope we start seeing more progress, because so far I was betting on the dialogue to get better. It hasn't. I was betting on Kat to get better. She hasn't really. And then all the other actors that I thought would stay okay, most of them are also floundering in this episode. So I don't know. Maybe they just had an off day or something, but it really wasn't my episode. Not really. I'm in it for the Magnus and Alec thing, and that's about it. Guess we'll see what happens now that Clary can't. She killed the memory demon, and now she can't get back her memories. Oh no! What are we going to do? So, I don't know. Obviously, they're not following the book plotline step by step, and I'm okay with that. It feels kind of really unnecessary. Like, too many unnecessary turns when you could have just gone in a straight line. But hey, that's what happens in TV. I guess I can't complain until I see the next episode. So that's what I'm gonna do. And that's my review, I guess. As usual, be sure to visit our website at thegeekypub.com. You can find reviews for the previous episodes of Shadowhunters, but also you can find reviews for other TV shows, books, movies, games. We have a ton of stuff in there, so be sure to visit and check it out. And as usual, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because that's where the reviews usually go up first, even before they hit the website. They're on YouTube, so if you want to be notified straight away whenever we upload something new, then subscribing is what you have to do. And I'm rhyming again. Why do I always do that? Anyway, I hope you go and subscribe. That's what you have to do. So I'll see you guys in my next review. Bye. Damn, I'm still rhyming.